We are ready to rumble, stumble, fumble, and talk random nonsense. The giant screen are Brandon's now huge hands. With,
Gigantic hands.
Wah!
Here, we'll put something a little more interesting on. Like these Sternguard are just finished over the weekend.
Nice. I am going to be a little bit fuzzy because I do not have any of my production lights on because my head hurts too much. And I don't want to phase out of existence and not be able to exist. Existing is good. Also, anyone with Skype experience that isn't an idiot like I am, how the hell do I get my bubble, my little window, out of the top right-hand corner so it's not, it doesn't look like my name's creeping on Brandon's modeling? Hey guys, hey, what's up? Hey man, I'm just out here looking through the window, totally normal.
What if you put it in presenter mode, where the person
Man,
you're featuring is the one who's on the big screen?
Are you making words up now? Did you just
No,
say presenter mode? Is that
yes.
a thing?
It is a thing. You can choose your viewpoint, and if you go up the top right corner, there's view. You know, by doing this, we're going to butcher everything.
Yeah.
But if you go to the top right corner, there's view. There's grid view, which you have it on right now. There's together mode, which shows everyone together. And then
There's a come together mode right now. I mean, that sounds awesome too. Also, I do have to point out, I was saying to you, why are my targeted ads Lululemon?
Hey, I got Culver's when I jumped on. Oh, and bath fitter. Apparently it thinks I need a new bathroom.
I apparently should wear a lot of stretchy pants. Looks like I know when I'm showing up in tournaments, man.
I feel like I'm just completely stretched out. We're doing it right.
Well, you got I gotta make you fit, man. Here's the options. I'm gonna show you what the options are, Brandon. Ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. I could either have you like that.
I'm assuming there's at least a 30-second delay, so.
And then you have half the screen not hanging out. You know what I mean? Or I can stretch you down, making you stretchy. I feel like making you stretchy is a better option. I mean, I can make you cover the entire thing.
Why don't you hit like Alt and just modify and cut your name off?
Because then it would make your screen even smaller. Because I can't alt from the corner. I can alt down, I can alt over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I'd rather
I feel like this is a technology issue with Skype.
I just want to make you stretchy.
It just distorts the models. But how about we throw a background up and then just have it be smaller and then you move your picture over?
You know what? We're just doing that then. That's all you get. You get to sit in the middle. If you're going to be like that, this is what you get. You know what? This is why we don't stop at Mickey D's on the way home, Brandon. You always act up.
But you don't like McDonald's, Brad. That's why we don't stop at McDonald's. Every time we go up to Du Bois, we never get McDonald's.
I ate McDonald's in like 87. So, we're doing this and I don't need a background. I'm too powerful for a background.
I think this is perfect. Brad, listen to me. All right. Take off
At
just
least
your name. Just take off your name where it says Brad Chester. Use that Alt function.
I have to literally scooch it over that. I love that we're just doing this with everybody watching. Exactly.
Well, I can't.
Tech piece Brad in action. Okay, watch this. Then you lose that much screen.
Okay. And then you make it larger.
I mean, I can pull this over, but it's still going to make you stretchy if I pull you all the way to the bottom, so we're doing that.
All right. It's fine. We'll make it work.
This is what you get.
I think what just needs to happen is, since I have it set up on my computer now, I should just post and just have you call in.
You could do that. I've been saying that every single time. And that was supposed to be Wednesday. Okay, everybody needs to know this. Wednesday was supposed to be Brandon running everything, and basically it being on DOG, but it being on the Still Frosty network at the same time. And Brandon runs it, and basically the first time was me training wheels it to make sure he could do it. And then he just went, pew, screw that shit. I ain't doing nothing.
So I have everything built out. I had to I had to fix everything today. And then now, like, so theoretically I could. Do we just want to cancel it and just have me run it instead?
No.
Like right now?
Nope. This is happening.
All right, let's do it.
This is why I usually put you in the little window. And whatever I'm looking at in the big window. Because that is also how I do things. What you're doing is secondary to what my mind wanders around for.
So, I mean, the only thing is, like, if I host, you won't be able to do any screen sharing. You'll just be able to talk. Are you able to do just talking, Brad?
I don't know. Because as soon as somebody's doing something that bores me, I just go do something else. So.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I've been having you do it.
What are you doing today? So everybody knows what the shit's going on.
Besides judging your tech priestness?
I mean, you could judge my tech priestess all day long. I got kicked out of the Omnicide a while back.
Are you more machine than man now, Brad?
I am more Iron Hands, yeah. I am the shortest member of the Iron Hands.
You're one of the server skulls.
I mean, at this point in time, I guess I'm more Nurgle, but...
So what am I doing? So I'm continuing to work on the new box set that came out. So over the weekend, Eloise and I had a streaming evening on Saturday where she was painting Sisters of Battle and constantly knocking over camera, and I was working on Sternguard and Furnace Marines.
Eloise knocking over the camera seems just about right. Got it.
She did 3 times, and then like she kept like focusing on her chest. It unintentionally, but like because she would knock over the camera, she would readjust it, and then it would be right on her chest.
So you basically had boob cam?
Yes, we had boob cam. So what I want to do today is I want to green stuff flames on them. So with these Infernus Marines, I had them build on Saturday, and then Saturday evening, I drilled out the barrels of the Pyroblaster, put some brass rod in, and use hot glue to make flames, which you can't really see. Let me see. I want to try something.
What?
Yeah, you should be able to see it now.
What are you doing with the shoulder pads, though? You were just green stuff in a shoulder pad.
Yeah. So what I want to do, so this is the basic flames. Now I want to put green stuff on like kneecaps, shoulder pads, chests, if it's available. Like on this particular sergeant, I'll probably put flames across his torso, their chest. And then I have a box of skulls, which has so many skulls in it's not even funny. And I'm going to start cutting them up and modeling skulls, bone bits, chains, brass wire, just to give them all more texture and character. And then I can prime them and start painting all these bad boys.
I like what's happening here. I like the hobby mojo. Ooh, you know what I do want to show you? I'm looking through competitive, 40K, for some discussion points. I want to get Meta Monday up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And here's what my ads look like. AARP is my number one ad. So apparently, AARP and Lululemon is what my targeted selling is.
So okay, I have to think about this for a minute. Doesn't AARP kick in at 65?
Nope, it's 50 plus, my friend.
50 plus.
Yep.
For Reddit, the ads that I get are not AARP.
Well, I spent a lot more time doing retired person stuff than you do.
Clearly.
It is what it is, my man. It is what it is. I had a good time over the weekend, bro. I
heard you did pretty good.
It's not about the performance. That's the whole point. It's about hanging out. Also, Horton ran, I want to say this. It was a 3-day tournament, and he ran it as a 3-2-2, which is 3 games on Friday, 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. And I cannot tell you how much better that format is. Saturday, we get done after 2 games, super early, got to hang out all night. We got food. It was my favorite day of the weekend, like hands down. And we did absolutely fucking nothing. We drank a bunch. We talked. I'm now buds with the Death Guard player. It was fantastic. We just had a great time, and we had enough time to do whatever you wanted to. People that wanted to go out to dinner, you get out early so you can get there, so you can spend time with your friends, which is the whole point of a tournament. But we hung out, you know what I mean? And it was great.
So what time were you guys done?
I don't know, like 6:37 or something, like 6:30.
That seems still pretty late for only a 2-round.
Well, no, like 6. No, it's got to be like 6 then. No, we started at 10 a.m. So whatever that is, you know what I mean, with a 1 hour break. So 1 hour break, 2, 5. It was like 5, or like I said, like 5-ish.
You keep going from like 7 to 6 to now 5.
I don't know what it was. Look at, man, I drank a little bit on Saturday. I'm just saying
you drank a little bit at that event in particular. Wow.
But it was such a great time, and I hate the rushed feeling sometimes you get at a tournament when you don't have enough time to get everybody together. You want to spend some time. Oh man, Kiara, the streams over the weekend just blue screened it like no one's business. I felt bad for the guys. They ran it on day 1, and I thought that they had pretty good stuff. And then day 2, they eventually just packed it up.
So it wasn't because you were dancing on the camera equipment?
No. Crawley, GW, I think, was trying to show everybody. I didn't want everybody to see how bad towering was, and killed the stream. They came in like Agent Smith from the Matrix, and we're like, nah, we can't let this be seen. It's Crawley and I playing. They're like, whoever goes first is gonna roll the other person in 2 minutes. We can't let people see that. We need to cut the stream. Cut it. Cut it.
So it was my understanding, at least from the pictures and everything that I saw, that they actually had some reasonable terrain to hide from towering models. Was that not the case?
No. It was good. He had good terrain. It's just the problem is that there's still second story windows, third story windows. He had a good terrain thing. The problem is that towering still can see everything behind. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You could hide, in like half of the building you could hide. You know what I mean? But like you can't, anything behind that half and anything behind the building itself can be seen, and they can just get angles. You know what I mean? So if you're playing bigger models, it's just really hard. And then we have, like, for instance, I played Crawley on Sweeping Engagement, which is the diagonal, starts in, all the way in the corner and goes to the middle. And he went first and just literally walked Helverins over, and he could see me. You know what I mean? So I couldn't even hide from regular shit. And that's a problem with the deployment itself. But maybe I think that it would have helped if we were able to like turn the buildings facing whatever the deployment was, because we kind of did it almost like old GW terrain. So like it was just, you could get a lot of angles. Now without towering, I thought the games felt really, really cool. You know what I mean? I like the terrain quite a bit. It's just, towering just has to be changed. And it doesn't have to be scrapped. I think that my solution for towering, and I've said it a couple times, and I'm, say it again, because you asked me, God damn it. But towering makes the towering model be able to toe touch whatever they're in, and then just make it towering a distance, 3 inches, 6 inches, 9 inches, 12 inches, whatever it is. As soon as they get that distance within a piece of terrain, they can then do it true line of sight. It's just the fact when you just can go, hey, I'm 60 inches away and I can still blast you. It feels shitty.
Mm-hmm. I don't see them changing it for at least 3 months.
Well, it's just going to be up to the TOs. TOs are going to have to, and I see a lot of them already making larger pieces of terrain with no windows and shit like that. I mean, like I said, his terrain was fantastic for anything but towering. But like all weekend long, you just saw like the big knights, the whatever, I forget all their names. The big Chaos Knight and the big, the dude with the spear and the shield and stuff. Dudes would just like plop them down in a building because they're so tall, because they see over the building itself, and they can just shoot all game long from there.
And you can't do anything, and they're more durable.
Yeah, they're more, exactly. They get a cover save on that. It's just towering is an issue itself. Here, you want me to hit you with my Brad fixes?
You know what? Actually, before we go to your Brad fixes, I
Hit
want to
me.
know about this pie that you said we're going to be making.
I mean, I did see a YouTube video that said that. So apparently I got, also I ate two types of pie. Now that's a lie. I ate more pie. I hate cake, by the way. Sorry guys, I hate cake. I don't like it at all. I like ice cream cake. That's a lie. I do like cake as long as it's made with ice cream.
Brad confessed to me that he really likes donuts.
No, I specifically said I hate donuts.
He's like, donuts are my favorite breakfast food. I wish
Oof.
everybody would bring donuts to me while I'm playing at tournaments.
God, I'm gonna punch you because people will. Exactly. The corner deployment in Imperial Knights is a glorious time. It was nuts. They literally just take a movement over and they're just standing looking at your army. It was hilarious because I'm still mic'd up and I just walk to the bar and I get a shot for Crawley and a drink for myself. And I hand him the shot. I go, I won't remove a model until you drink this shot. But like, his Helverians one shot at a tank each because they have fly, so it's fly 2. But fixed towering, Phantasm as a strat for Eldar needs to get thrown in the garbage. It's literally ridiculous.
And that's the one command point move that you did 7 inches.
No, but it's the whole package. The whole package, baby. 1 CP in your phase. The end of your move phase, which is the biggest deal, because I have to go, hey man, Brandon, you gonna go right there? Cool. For 1 CP, I'm gonna move 7 inches over here. You know how you like set up a bunch of models so you can shoot this? Go fuck yourself. So that strat needs to go suck it an egg. You know what I mean? Like, it needs to go away. And the cake is a lie. The cake is a lie. Also, I hate donuts. Please don't give them to me. I literally don't like any donuts.
He likes punching the donuts.
Yes, I will punch the donut. I don't like sweets that much, to be honest with you. Yeah, you had the knight with the spear in your deployment zone turn 2. Yeah, that's nice. You just go, hey, what you gonna do? You got 1 turn to figure this out.
See, this is the thing that I've been saying. Like, I understand Steven is very passionate about knights, but the combination of them being more difficult to kill, being cheaper, because they're still cheaper than they were last edition, because they get whatever war gear they want.
But the thing is like, I'm a weird cat about things. I don't mind OP armies. I'm against mechanics that don't give me options to play against OP armies. I had some fantastic games because I brought no towering. You know what I mean? So I'm playing against other people. They're hiding from me. I'm hiding from them. We're bouncing around. Mm-hmm. I like that. I had a great time playing against when I played knights. And I'm playing an OP army. Whoa. I know what I'm doing. We just watched me driving the bandwagon. So also, I got second into knights with my T-subs, but I managed to survive with my supreme tactic of rolling good on saves. Roll better, love it. But I had a really great time playing. I had fun playing my Eldar unless I was playing against knights, because it felt like whoever rolled to go first, like literally. So Crawley and I play. He rolls to go first. He kills 6 tanks and 2 walkers in turn 1. I have a couple things in reserve to score some points. You know what I mean, to make it not like the ultimate massacre, but it was.
So what are the tanks? The Night Spinners and the
3
fire
Night
prisms?
Spinners, 3 Fire Prisms. Then I've got Hornets off board. Then I have Walkers. So he killed like basically 90% of my army, or not even 70% of my army. So I had enough to like dick around. You know what I mean? I could score like 40 points in secondaries and 20 on primary because 2 of the objectives were on the other side of the universe. You know what I mean? So, but we rolled it out again and go, well, what happens if you go first? And then I just picked him up. And then I played Ben, who had big ass Imperial Knights. By the way, super cool knights. He's got like the one guy leaning forward, like over his base, like basically dabbing and going up. And then did
you get a picture of any of these, Brad?
No. And then the huge shield. I did ask Norton to send me some pics for tomorrow, but of things, because he actually has pics of his own shit, and he took some pictures of the other stuff. And Gordon's gonna give me some. So I have pictures for tomorrow, Thursday, What's up, Nergo Matt? What's up, D-Flux? But I went first against him, and I just picked up 2 big knights and 2 or 3 small knights on turn 1. So, like, neither of those games is fair. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel like a game of 40K. So, like, if he could hide and do things, you know what I mean, it would be a different story. So I just don't like the fact that you're just like, hey, man, let's roll the one die that makes any difference whatsoever. And I wasn't a huge fan of that. So, but I did have a great time playing the other games, though. You know what I mean? I played some Eldar on Eldar. I played Snyder with his 9 tank list, and we were playing the law. Were we playing corners? I don't remember what we were playing. But we were basically played this like super cheeky game of barely peeking guys out. He had some guys with shrouding, so I couldn't target them unless I was in 12, which causes me some problems to get up on top of him. And I literally, exactly, the Night Dabber, 100%.
So what was Ryan's list? Run me through it.
Three repulsor executioners and 6 variations of predators. And then he had an infiltrator unit, so you can't deep strike within 12, and he attached the librarian so that I couldn't target him unless I was within 12. So I couldn't get him out of deep strike. And then he had just a random unit of intercessors to get the +1 inside one of the repulsors to steal an objective. And we had a real back and forth kind of cheeky game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I have Fire and Fade and Phantasm. He doesn't. So I was able to kind of pick up like extra shit. So, but like we shake and bake that game. You know what I mean? But like, I like those type of games. You know what I mean? And I had a decent amount of them. Brenton and I played game 7. And we had to explain the new thing where, you no longer can just come out on your board edge if somebody's blocking you out, because there's no rule that says that. So you can block out the whole board. So I had some real tactical games over the course of the weekend, and then I had a couple that just weren't. You know what I mean? So like, you can say whatever you want about Eldar without Wraith Knights and the Fate Dice change is probably still a little too OP. However, it's still fun to play. It's fun to play with, but I actually think I played a bunch of games against it, though. I had a lot of fun. So, like, the problem right now, I'll go over to the Meta Monday thing. So, like, my biggest thing with this is I don't think it's the problem is just the top. You've got a towering problem. You had an Eldar problem that you've touched a little bit. The results over the weekend, people weren't using the new points and the new changes to Fate Dice.
So most events use the change to Fate Dice, not the points.
Right. So like with the changes to that, I think that they're still super crazy. I think they're still an OP army. However, the problem isn't just the top. You have to change towering because that's just unfun. You can't even, if you can't deploy and just not get blasted, that's the thing. But the problem here is the bottom, dude. The bottom of the armies. We have 10 factions that for 2 weeks in a row have been winning in the 30s, man. Like, you just can't have the bottom be a disaster. You know what I mean? You're always going to have one faction, maybe 2, that are having some issues. You know what I mean? In the current meta, with whatever the current rules set of missions and secondaries and shit like that are. But like, you can't have a top 4 or 5. I guess it's 6 right now, and then just literally dive off a fucking cliff. You know what I mean? So. Zach goes, Eldar without Wraith Knights feel bad with the change to Fate Dice. I think that they're still super, super good. It's just that you're not just OP devastating woundsing people. You just have to change your playstyle. It's just the towering plus devastating wounds is a huge problem, clearly, because they were winning at 1,000,000,000%. But the bigger thing is that towering period is an issue. We have to change the mechanic. So it's a big thing on that, is just to, you want to make the games fun, win or lose. Like, I want to feel like I have agency over the game, and I didn't in that game, and it just felt dumb. It was it was what it was. I had a great time over the weekend. I had a bunch of good games with a bunch of good people. But like, when you went to towering, like, oh man, do I have it? I'll put it up here. Uh,
I mean, I was texting to Sean over the weekend, and there's a couple things that I was a little irked about on Monday. And like I've been trying to just look into the towel book and just saying, hey, what kind of towel list could I put down that I think would be fun? Can maybe go toe to toe with Eldar and just see what happens. And I just noticed that there's just all this inconsistency even within unit entries, right? So do you know that there's 4 units in the tile book that have smart missile systems? So you have actually 5 units that are all on the same platform. You have the Skyray, you have the Hammerhead, you have Long Strike, you have broadsides, and you have what's it called? The big guy. What's the name of the big guy, Brad? The one that's taller than you?
Everyone's taller than me.
Uh, the 600 point model. So depending on which tank is firing which shot determines how many bullets you actually get. So if you fire a smart missile system on a Devilfish, you get 2 shots for each one times 2, 4. If you fire smart missiles with Long Strike, you get 8 shots. If you fire smart missiles with a Skyray or Hammerhead, you get 6 shots. How does that make any sense? It is the same exact gun.
Well, one, I love that they nerf the Tau guns, but just some of them, and they were all the volume guns. You're just like, really? That was the problem?
And then in addition to that, like I was looking at the advanced burst cannons, the ones that you could take on Devilfish and Hammerheads and Storm Surge as well. Half of them have AP1, the other half don't have AP1.
Oh, dude. Tau,
Like,
you want to talk about who really got hit? Tau got hit, and they've got some options. If Tower goes down, the Tau, you could literally bring double Tauenar and Shadow Sun and just go, my shooting phase is going to take 30 to 40 minutes from these 2 models. Because
it's not that bad.
it is too, because everything's also a different profile. So you have to roll them all separately. You're like, hey man, this gun is strength 4, this gun's strength 5. I have 1 gun of every strength. You're like, oh, there's one that's a different AP. I gotta roll those differently too.
You gotta take those tetras to get your full rerolls.
Dude, you got tetras, you gotta get Shadow Sun. All you need, 2 Taunars, you're good to go. Hey, look, you're at least not Votan. Why did they treat my boy so bad?
They were getting to be about as tall as you were, and they had to put them down in their place.
Ooh, man. That is an army that's just like, hey, you want to play the mission? Well, you're going to get rocked. You want to try to pew-pew people? Well, you better hope you go first, because towering uses. That's a rough army. You know what I do want to talk about? I'm going to go back to this Epic Fall of Cadia Mega Edition. I don't even like Guard, and this thing looks badass.
So tell me more about it. What exactly is it?
Well, you get the novel in hardback, which is, I think, 500 and something pages. You get the map, the medal, a little shit to go. I don't know. I like it. They have the little book from it to keep your morale up. So I don't know. I like shit like this. I'm a sucker for fucking limited edition packs and stuff like that. Give me a couple extra doodads and I will spend way too much money on something. Exactly. They wanted Votan players to truly develop a surly outlook and a deep down grudges. Our GSC is going to wreck people. As everything else is getting nerfed, GSC is slowly doing the Emperor plans. Good. You followed into my plan. It is faux show. Gonna be time for the Forearm Emperor to rise. They look nuts. As everything else slowly gets nerfed, they're just going to be insanity.
So has Nick Rose come back to playing GSC yet?
No, he thinks they're bad. Him and Crowley think GSC just get ruined by knights and a couple things, and I just don't believe that.
I don't know. They don't have enough shots.
Muscle Beach is back. Commissar Brad. No, I don't like Guard. Guard's never floated my boat because I don't want to. When I think about the fantasy of this, the immortal soul, super soldier, immortal elves that have seen everything, demons from the warp, where I could play me with a las gun. Come on, dudes, let's do this, and you're dead. Like, but this just box looks super sweet, though. I don't know. What do you guys think about stuff like this? I don't. Am I a sucker for this? I mean, I know I'm a sucker for this, but like, what do you guys think about limited edition, packs like this? I mean, this is all fluff stuff, but I dig the fluff stuff. I think that
fluff stuff, it's fine. It's when it's a codex. I think that's a complete waste of money.
It's good.
Like, why would you buy a limited edition codex that's going to be in the trash in 6 to 12 months?
I like reading they've got some of the codexes have some pretty badass stories. Like, some of the codexes have really good fluff, and some are just meh. So, like, it's a little hit or miss. To be fair, I think I own all of the 9th edition codexes, so Exactly. Because GSC only has a 70% win rate. Come September, they'll meet up with Admech at the bottom, where Admech gets a 5% buff and GSC loses all the rules that make them special in GW fashion. That's true. GW does typically do nerfs with a heavy hand. So,
I don't know. I think even with the points changes to Eldar and Knights, I think they're still annoying.
The points changes just absolutely fucking nothing. Change the goddamn mechanic. You know what the best thing they did? Change fate dice. There you go. That was the one change. All that they did was make people's cards fucked. So, blah. You can't change mechanics with points. It's no, bad, no.
Like, I was trying to explain it to Eloise, like, how indirect has changed, and she's like, well, that's dumb.
Stupid. You know what? I'm going over cool models.
Let's go over cool models.
Well, they showed a bunch of people painting up the new stuff from the community. Some of these are sick. Yeah, probably. They're already trying to hedge their bets on this. Kara goes, GW won't learn until Tacoma and whatever they're doing in the UK. They're already trying to nerf Knights a little bit. They did you can't reroll all ones, just 1/1. And in the codexes for all foreign languages, it says reroll all ones. So you know what they were meant, but then they're doing super well. And I think they don't want their first big event to be a trash fire where Knights are literally looking over the GW train going, it'd be a shame that I could see all your models. So.
Yeah, but my complaint is with that. If that is their intent, they should publish it out loud. Like, we have digital documents. I don't understand why this FAQ isn't a living digital document saying, hey, Knights don't get to reroll every single one. It's just one dice or one die.
But it was already one, because in the digital document for every other language, it's reroll all ones. I think they realized they were doing nuts and they don't want them to just crush the tournament.
Yeah, but they're not publishing that in the FAQ. That's just that particular event. So, like, if you guys go to ATC, what's to stop Knights from re-rolling every single one?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's not a thing. It's just their tournament thing. So, I don't know. It's just that mechanics need to be changed. You can't point it out. When you try to point something out, either it never changed the mechanic. That's the problem. So, like, for instance, Knights. You have two options. The Knight player's super pissed because he can't play Knights anymore because you pointed them out of existence, or everyone else is pissed because they can't deploy their fucking army. You know what I mean? Yeah. Fix towering. Don't shit on a faction. You know what I mean? Change the mechanic, make it something at least close to fair and balanced, and then let the Knight player play with his Knights. It's not that fucking hard. I'm sorry, but like, I would have rather had them literally just totally, kick the ball than not do anything. They try to do points. Points make nothing. That's like me saying that 2 + 2 = F. You're just like, what? Yeah, sure, man. 2 + 2 = donuts. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You're like, I know, but figure it out. You're like, okay, cool, man, thanks. So that's my issue with that.
To go into chat, the point about the thing is it's an email. An email doesn't mean anything, right? Like, I remember in 7th edition, and you probably remember this too,
Wraith
Brad,
Night, baby. The scath hatch.
but they were just all these emails from, people contacting GW saying, oh, well, this is the intent. Well, that doesn't mean anything because they haven't published it anywhere. Sure, it's one event, but like if I can't take that email to my local game store and say, hey, Mike Brandt, thinks this is how Knight should be played, they would laugh me out of the store. Like, they don't care.
However, I'm going to throw down with that. Zach goes, Brad, we need you to move to Nottingham and take the GW balance job. Yeah. I'm still excited that they at least know that that's a thing. They'll probably do it wrong and make it a desk job, which it's not. But I'm still hopeful because they're recognizing that they have some issues and they need to do something about it. And that's the first step, everyone, is knowing you have a problem. You know what I mean?
How much time do we give them to say, hey, these are your issues. Are you going to address them?
We have to flow through a couple months. We have to go through beta testing here, unfortunately. So the problem is that what's going to happen, I don't even know if it's going to happen 100%, but it's going to kind of happen. It's how the ITC got created. GW didn't balance their game, and tournament circuits made their own rules. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that was annoying, though, because not everybody used those rules. So depending on what tournament you went to, you got a different set of rules.
I mean, it's on the verge of happening again.
That's I know 100%.
Because even last week, you guys were talking about like, hey, WTC is going to do these rules. Cool. We don't play with WTC rules in the United States,
right? and that's an issue on that. And it's just the thing is that I'm going to give them the props where props are due. The games that I played where I wasn't playing towering stuff felt really cool. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of really good 10th edition games. They just have a couple mechanics that we have to fix, and we have to fix the data sheets of the bottom armies. I think the bottom armies have to literally be completely redone. I'm sorry, but like some of the armies at the bottom are just foobarred. Their data sheets and costs are trash, and they cannot play. Right now, you got to figure that your standard way of playing is probably going to be draw 2 tactical cards, okay? Mm-hmm. And then the missions themselves say go do things. For instance, if you play a hammer and anvil game, you have to go to the middle to score anything for both of the missions that are hammer and anvil. Or is there 3 hammer and anvils? Whatever. But I'm saying, like, you literally can't play an army that's slow as shit unless they have some bonuses to do something. You know what I mean? You have to give them things. You have to get more models. People have to have things to score. And that's why like things like Eldar come out of the gate really strong in almost any edition, because the game basic missions and what you have to do usually revolve around speed. So if you have a fast army, you're going to do well, regardless of other things. So you have to start putting that in there. Give them some trash units. Give them some things, that can play the mission. Give them some forward deployers. You just have to do something with it.
So I have a challenge for you, Brad. Do you think that you had such a good time because you were playing Eldar, which is one of the top factions? Or like if I would have said, hey, Brad, here is Sisters of Battle, would you have had as good of a time?
Yes, because I like playing the game. As long as I didn't play a bunch of towering stuff, I would have been fine. I would have probably done slightly worse, you know what I mean? Because the army Sisters are significantly worse, period, than Eldar are right now, because of point efficiencies and speed. But I would have still had a good time, and I would have enjoyed solving the problem of making the best Sisters army I could have made. So it's not about wins and losses. It's about just enjoying the game. But I can't enjoy the game if I can't if I
Army
don't
gets blasted off immediately.
No, it's
and
not
you have
even.
zero recourse.
Well, yeah, as I'm saying, as long as I can lose the game and I'm fine with it. I just don't like having no ability to have any interaction in the game. You know what I mean? Like nothing. There's no recourse for what I was doing. Yeah, I love it. Oh, it's green stuff flames. I get it now.
So, if you look at like my side of this equation, like I'm looking at the camera, and my camera looks perfectly fine, and then I pull up YouTube, and I think Skype just degrades the quality of everything, so you can't tell what anything is. Thanks, Skype. Appreciate it. We should probably use a different platform than Skype.
I've been saying this forever. I
I just
wasn't.
don't.
I
I just
wasn't the
don't know
one that
what
chose Skype. Damn it. Clearly, I'm not in charge of this. You know what? I am in charge of this. How does this keep happening?
You're the one running this right now.
Ah, man.
I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work, Brad.
You know what? I like to point out this guy's screen name is Frothing Muppet. That makes me happy. Minimum Day, GS Sam has Fighting new Nerf Eldar is still very fun. As sisters, it would not have been a game. They still kill anything they can see and are almost unchargeable. Maybe. I think the Phantasm has to go away. Like 100%. That's a trash stratagem.
Well, trash is the wrong word. It's a ridiculous stratagem.
Well, I mean, it's trash because of that. It's 1 CP, and I can do something in your turn that you can't stop. Hey, Zoobs. Matt, I am not going to Tacoma. Crawley's going to Tacoma. You need to show GW how bad it is. I didn't get psyched up because I kept thinking of towering on GW terrain. GW terrain's even smaller. So unless they did some huge fixes,
they didn't.
It just didn't seem fun to go, hey, you want to roll a die? So
in the packet it says it's between 2 and 4 inches.
Matt, would it be better as 2 CP? I just don't think that I can't. It's too big because Brandon basically moves up and he tries to target some stuff, and I just move away on his turn at the end, and I can see exactly where the line of sights are. It just feels bad. Stratagem. The Fire and Fade's been around forever, but you can work your phases around where I put my guys in my phases. You know what I mean? So like me being able to counter your moves in your turn just feels too strong. If they didn't have the Phantasm, just make Phantasm a redeploy. I mean, yeah, a couple of units have it, but those are specific units. Like this is army wide. You know what I mean? I can just do it with tanks and shit. So I think that it could play. You know what? I should play. I'll play a stream game of Sisters versus Eldar. I'll play Brenton. I'll play Sisters. I'll let Brenton play Sisters. I'll maybe do that this weekend. I'll put it on TTS. The Wraithguard ability is wild, dude. I watched that. I had it happen to me, as a matter of fact. So, Wraithguard have an ability. So this is a Wraithguard turn. And I had new respect for Wraithguard. Wraithguard can shoot, and then they charge something. And their attacks are meh. So they literally... This dude did it to me. He blew up a Warwalker, charged Iliac Night Spear, and beat the crap out of him. Because he's a dude wearing a cloak. They were like, oh god! Oh man! So they beat him up in an alley. But then they consolidated into a Hornet. And because you consolidated, I have to make attacks per the game. I just have to attack. And their rule is once a turn after someone attacks you, you can shoot them. And if you're in engagement range, your weapons become pistols. So he just shot me with 10 Wraith cannons that were pistols on my poor Hornet. Just blew the shit out of it.
That seems good. And then you have the Spirit Seer who could bring one back from the dead.
Yes. Well, it's not even just that they bring it back from the dead. They bring it back from the dead both players' command phases.
Both players' command phases. Wow.
Yeah. So what I did was I shot him with Iliac Night Spear and a 5 Rangers and killed him. Just said, let's not have that happen again. So, but unit's slow. So it is hard to move, and they no longer have the ability to just deep strike in like the Webway Gate strat. that we used to have. So, but those guys are super strong. I do want to play. I actually want to play the sisters because I think the sisters have like a bunch of problems because they hurt their melee so hard. They made Melta's 18 and their strength 9, which means you're basically just rolling 5s against half of everything. So you have to get all up close and personal, shoot your Melta, and then go, hey man, I'm super sorry about trying to kill you.
Well, it's funny because like there's very little synergy. So some of the characters are like, hey, we give you, lethal hits. And I'm like, cool. Who's it going on? Oh, the 10 Battle Sisters. I think I'm good.
I think I could sit in a lawn chair and have the 10 Battle Sisters do anything that they wanted. They won't kill anyone. Like, just nothing. Ooh. Just, ooh. Paragons, baby, the memes are real. Mormon Vaugh was one of my favorites, and she's just...
I don't think she's bad with Paragon Warsuits, but they definitely toned her down too. Like, she used to be able to just solo a tank by herself, and now she can't. Even with rerolls.
See, those are awesome things. Paragons, baby. I mean, I say it, all the Sisters players played them. They do hit, and they got deuce-up saves, which is a big deal right now in the game. And because of the fact that if you read a book that said the word cover, you just get cover right now, seems pretty legit. I do love Karagos. The best thing I saw was a game on War Games Live. The Lion killed 2 greater demons and almost got 3. If the dude playing D remembered his rules, he would have done more. It was awesome. I love hearing when the Primarchs kick ass. And also, I totally I empathize with middle-aged Lion that looks like he's seen some shit.
He's literally you.
Yeah. 2+ is the truth right now. Matt, if Vol, he goes, Vol can take down a tank, 8 attacks with dev wounds and full reroll slaps, 100%. Especially if they get to you. They wreck. They can just do some work. I just wish they wouldn't have... Sisters didn't need to be toned down. Like, I just didn't get that, I guess.
I mean, that Exorcist was winning them games.
So, like, if I play... All right, this is the list I'm going to put into Brent and Zeldar.
All right, let's see it.
I'm going
to... Should I call up Eloise right now so she can...
She should already be watching. If she's not, it's her fault. They are the same size as Brad. Yes, Paragon Warsuits. I'm wearing a Paragon Warsuit. It's what keeps me around. So I'm going to take Paragon Warsuits, Mormon Vol, 3 Castigators, 3 Exorcists, 3 sets of 2 Death Cult Assassins, 3 sets of 2 Crusaders, and that is the start of the army. So
I have no idea how many points off it is.
That's plenty. I've already been making this. But a probably bigger Rhino. What am I going to put inside it? I got to bring a couple Seraphims just to do more secondaries in the backfield. So I'll bring some Seraphims. Matt, give me some points on this. Otherwise, I got to bring up my app. Can I do 3 times 5 Seraphim and all that? And then... Do I want a Rhino with the minions? I just want some more devastating wounds. Devastating wounds.
I am so sad that the minions have to be 10 guys or 10 girls.
True story. I would have liked some 5-girl squads.
It would be nice, right? It's like, oh no, they come in a box of 5 to 10.
I mean, I could make it look fluffy, and I could join a Saint Celestine to a unit, but she seems expensive. Also, she doesn't have a million people with duos. Oh, you know what, Matt? I will stab you. You're supposed to give me points, not tell me about taking Battle Sister squads. Are you crazy? I'll steal your hat.
So we were looking at a different list. We were looking at 3 units of 10 Sacrosands with 3 characters attached. Like there's a character who gives reroll everything. I think that's a Canoness. And then you have litanies because Eloise can't roll higher than a 1 for miracle dice.
Jan's got a good question. He goes, how come Space Marines didn't do good with old points last week? And I thought Desolators beat everything. They do not. Desolators invalidate certain factions. But the problem is that they need help. That you have 2 basic armies right now, like a Desolator spam army and with Grav and a tank army. And you can combo them up. With Matt Tarantine, I helped him with a list over the weekend. With a unit of Desolators, some units of Grav, and a tank-based army with that added. So I think you can do that with Marines, but like Marines have a hard time with some of the big shit. They just do. And Knights can just go see you, so they just pick up. Knights are just so good at picking up, yes, but especially Marines.
See, I've been having a hard time building a Knight list because I'm like, or not a Knight list, a Space Marine list, because One, Desolators are impossible to get a hold of. That's issue number 1. But issue number 2 is they're boring as shit. Yes. And I'm trying to build a Marine list that isn't Desolators, and it's I don't even know where to begin because all the ways and methods that I had played Space Marines before
don't exist.
All the additions prior don't exist anymore.
You go three Grav bikes, 3 Grav devs, 10 Desolators, and a shit ton of Lancers. There you go.
Yeah, but Lancers are sold out.
Not even Lancers. Just Gladiator tanks, period.
Yeah, but they're sold out.
Look, man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me what you guys keep talking about, these crazy things like, where am I going to get the models? Just get the models. Build the best list first, and then go figure the models out. That's how you make lists.
Yes. So Gladiators have been sold out since February.
3D printer go burr. That's all I'm saying, yo. Make it happen, Captain. This is crazy talk. I don't want to hear these quitter things. All you need to do is make it. Make the best list. It's like Field of Dreams. Make the list, the models will come.
Something like that.
Worry about models. That's crazy. Oh, here's a good thing. I'm going to switch back. Besides the AARP thing, what's the worst unit in each index? This was one of the things posted on Competitive a couple hours ago.
I was reading that. Holy cow, there are some bad ones. I still think gun drones are by far the worst unit, period.
Am I back? Are we back? I want to be back. I want to be back so much. I want to be back. The best.
I think we're back now.
Thank God. I mean,
there's a delay.
We're so back. I'm back. Okay. That was
Brad. I'm proud of your Toledo internet.
I just lost power. I just didn't have lights for a second.
Is there another tornado going on?
Please no. Don't. Don't. Please don't.
Oh my goodness.
Oh. You know what?
Your screen share is still down.
I have to put things back up. What were we talking about before I panicked?
Well, before you decided that you wanted to play around in the dark with your glow in the dark rocks,
glow sticks.
We were talking about the Reddit article that talks about the worst unit in each army.
Oh yeah. I want that. What's the worst unit in every codex? That's what I want. What is the worst unit in every codex? It's not even codex, I guess, but whatever. You know what I'm talking about. You guys know. You guys know. What's the worst unit in every index?
So before you crashed, it's Tau gun drones. Period.
I don't know about that.
There's 70 points for 4 models. They have OC 0, and they hit on 5s with 8 shots. So gun drones are always kind of like units of gun drones are always kind of meh. Like they haven't really seen play since I think 6th or 7th edition when you could attach a commander to them and you just had like, here's my 12 albative wounds for my commander. Um, but you can't join anything to them. It's 70 points for 4 models, and you can take them up to units of 12, which would be 210 points. They can't hold objectives. They can't do anything. They don't benefit from the marker light rule. You can't use them as spotters. They're just there. They're absolutely pointless.
So I do have to go back to local Raven knitting and think about the Marines. Because my problem with Space Marine armies is that it's 250 different units and only 5% of them are any good at any particular time. At least CSM has 50 units and none of them are good. Obliterators are awesome. But yes. Also, I think you're really stretching it to say 5% of the data sheets are good for Space Marines. But let's go back to the worst unit index. I had to catch back up on the chat, everyone. I didn't want to skip stuff.
Regarding the Space Marine win rate with Desolators being so cheap, not everybody owns 30 Desolators. They never sold them as a box of 10. Like, I personally only own 10, and they're not even built yet. I would venture to say that the vast majority of Space Marine players don't own Desolators at this point.
By the way, I do need to give you guys my favorite quote of this. So a dude literally says, he was talking about the Talon gun drones because somebody pulled him up. It was the first day. He goes, "This isn't funny, man. My family died. The Solus Twin Link drone shooting. Won't someone please think of the people killed by flying Roombas and those left behind feeling the loss of loved ones and the fatal embarrassment at the way they died." Ah.
So to put it in perspective, so you get these 4 idiots who can't hold objectives and don't really have any rules, but for 5 more points, I could get 10 Crute, I could get 5 Vespid, I could get a Firesight Marksman. Like, they're just so bad. Why did they even have an entry? They're so bad.
So give me somebody that can. I'll put a poll up. I love that I lost the internet at the very end of the show, but I'm just going to keep going now because I feel like it'd be dumb to return and then leave immediately. Give me a worse unit or at least someone in contention for for against the gun drone. Somebody give me a shittier unit than the gun drone. Matt, Rough Riders at least do damage. Rough Riders literally can hit somebody fairly hard. Gun drones, gun drones can fail morale. Ow. It's like your printer fucking fleeing.
I cannot think of a unit worse than gun drones.
Rough Riders. Plus, I get the yell DMX shit.
Now, if we're talking about sisters, what's the one character, the Dogmata, where everybody had a Dogmata because it did some really cool stuff.
Oh, they
and
do
now it is
nothing
terrible.
now.
It is garbage.
I don't know if they're gun drone bad though.
No, gun drones are hands down the worst unit.
I mean, gun drones and Rough Riders get into a fight. I think the Rough Riders are going home and having some shots. Obelisk at least does mortal wounds. It's not my favorite, but have you made progress on this since we've last talked?
What do you mean?
What have you gotten done today?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 models worth of green stuff.
So come on, someone give me the worst model.
Frenzy and Wolves.
Nope, still cheap and I can advance and charge. Also, I keep forgetting that I turned no lights on. I'm just like, what am I, in witness protection right now?
Are you gonna blur your face out so we can, you can hide from the people trying to find you?
And so many of them. Man, no one is challenging Brandon's claim that the gun drones are the worst thing in all of 40K. All right, what's the, you know what? Screw it. We're going to the back.
Actually, there's one other thing. I think spore mines. Not spore mines from Biovores, just spore mines.
Like the mucolids?
Yes.
The mucolids are they're more expensive and they're shittier.
Well, they're like 50 points for one thing that explodes.
Zoobs is making shit up because I don't even know what the Marauder Bomber is.
It's a Forge World model that no one's ever seen ever.
One Twin Link Las Cannon and one Twin Link Heavy Bolter for 345 points. Oh,
That's pretty bad.
drones do seem tough to beat. So, like, let's go the other way. And you can't choose Wraith Ignites because they don't exist anymore because they went up 100 points and they can't just spam devastating wounds. What's the best unit point per point in the game?
Are we talking killing potential? Are we talking
Just everything.
It's
Hold on.
relative.
Overall, we're talking the guy with like an overall win. You got to have sportsmanship, painting, battle points. You got to have the total package. What's the best unit point per point in the game? It's like doing the fighter pound per pound list. Who's the best?
Warp Spiders, probably.
Jimmy came in with Warp Spiders also.
I think Warp Spiders I still want to point out that every new plastic model that came out with Eldar in the last 3 years is garbage now. All of the ones that are just super old and you can't get them anymore, they're fine cast, fantastic. Swooping Hawks, fantastic. Striking Scorpions, fantastic. Warp Spiders, fantastic. Never mind that their kit is literally old enough to be a parent at this point because they're like 22 plus years old.
I did play a guy this weekend. I called him a baby. He's like, I'm 22. I'm not a baby. And I go,
You see this Eldar model?
I literally go, I own models older than you. I've been playing 40K longer than you've been alive. A Lord of Change is super crazy for its cost, by the way. He's 230.
Let's see.
Scout. I actually really like Scout Snipers. I give that too. Can't be targeted unless you're within 12. That's a 6 ability, man.
Yeah, but lots of units have that ability. Do they have the damage output, the durability after?
The Warp Spiders aren't putting out shit for damage either. They're strength 4.
But they have the mobility to play the mission.
No. I'm saying that's what the strength is. I barely shot the Flamer. Yeah, I mean, I just use them to score everything. You move 24 and you do secondary checkmark. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Karen goes, some GSC unit you get to bring back 3 times. That is a thing. So, the Zoobs, the Autarch Wayleaper did feel great because he let me churn out a Fire and Fade and
the Phantasm.
The Phantasm. I literally I put him on the table 7 times. I never moved him 1 time. I didn't shoot him. I didn't move him. I didn't do anything. I didn't want to lose my CP generation machine. He was in the basement. He was like my golden goose. Like, don't risk yourself, Billy. I need your CP. Scout Sentinels are pretty badass.
Let's see, in the Tau book, I think it's the Piranha.
I see, man. I don't think that the Wraith Knight can still win games by itself. Absolutely not. Because without the mortal wound output, and he goes up 100 points, that dude has average of 4 shots with no invuln. So I disagree on that one. I can see it's still strong. Don't get me wrong, but like, I just wouldn't play with one. I wouldn't even bother.
He's not.
I don't play with one now. You know what I mean? Don't forget the humble custodian guard, harp efficient and affordable. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in Custodes that feels really good right now.
So what about Piranhas?
Piranhas are what, 55?
55 points. You get a Melta 4 fusion gun, which went down in range, unfortunately. But you get 2 Seeker missiles and some random chop shots, and it moves 14 inches. And it forces battle shock tests.
I don't know if that's Warp Spider mojo, but it's still pretty good. Oh, the Carnivore. Shit, that might be in the running too. Carnivore's bonkers town, dude. 14-inch move, or I think he's what, $170? That guy's crazy. Like he doesn't fuck around.
I think I own 6 Tau Piranhas, and if I play Tau, I'm using all 6 of them. Like
I would say every Tau list I've made starts with 3 Piranhas, to be perfectly honest. To be fair.
I mean, if you're rolling decent, like Tau Piranhas without just Marker Light support for the +1 to hit, should be able to pull Bellacore, should be able to pull a Knight.
I just don't care. The thing is like, with Piranhas, you need those units that take the board, do your secondaries, stuff like that. I think too many people have made lists that kill shit but don't score shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like over the weekend, I had some games that were super, super tight as far as like who killed what, but I was just way ahead in points because I was able to achieve basically every secondary I pulled because I have so much fast trash everywhere.
Yeah, but Eldar's like the only army that has fast trash.
True. Well, it's not though, because like we just said, Piranha's really, really good on that. You know what I mean? I can do
Yeah,
stuff.
but they can't go through walls.
Well, they can fly over them. Oh, never mind.
Remember that time that the entire Tau army was defeated by a wall?
No! A wall! Sir, what can we do? We fly, man. Can't we just go over it? No, sir. New regulations say everybody can only fly 4 feet off the ground. You're like, we came from space in these things. Sorry. 4 feet or less. OSHA regulations say no scary flying.
Zoobs, I'm not sure. I actually have been building more and more Tau lists where I don't even take Shadow Sun.
I'm actually worried about that too. Matt's got a good point. Because after this weekend, Chaos Knights seem fun. I'm hoping their Imperial Brothers don't get them over nerfed. I actually thought the Chaos Knight armies felt super powerful, yet super fun to play against and play with. We've tested them out a decent amount. I actually think that army feels super cool. So I just like that shit. So he also dodges out after 6. He just needed to go first. You know, it's the Knight versus Eldar matchup. Skill is for bums. Go first. Cullen had a meme for that. I think Cullen went first every game with Eldar. So he just was like, yeah, screw you. Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes you just gotta go for the good die rolls.
That's rolling 6 is the Corey strategy of how to get better at 40k.
Roll better.
But
I don't know. Yeah. There's some cool shit, man. I think there's some super cool fucking armies. I think that Custos, GSC, and Necrons are going to post 55+% over the next couple weeks. I think their armies are going to continue to do better, and as they take some stuff away, it's just one is like, now that you can't get 50 fucking mortal wound by Eldar, you know, you're going to see more of these armies come out because they don't just insta lose to that shit.
So how are like I haven't seen anything, but how are Custos into Knights? Like I feel like
really good actually. They double rapid ingress and then they get cover, and half of what Imperial Knights is taking right now is bad AP, so they take 2 up saves against it. So like then they can get there with a quickness. Obviously you need a place to tactically go. Oh dude, Zoobs, this can't be true. Stroob says the fireside chat was talking about Salt City, and they were talking about how technical Crowley must have played to beat Eldar, because I was in tears laughing. Yes.
Technically, I can see your bright lights.
On sweeping engagement, he went, "Hey, is that your army?" I was like, "No, it's not. This is not the army you're looking for." And he was like, "It fucking is." And he shot me, and I died. It was pretty distressing when he went, because he could walk over there, and he's like, Helverin, tank, dead. Helverin, tank, dead. Then he shot the big knights. How could they not understand it? He just went first and shot me. I couldn't hide anywhere.
The best part about it is he's going to Tacoma with knights.
Yeah.
He's going to ruin someone's day. I think someone is going to rage quit after playing against knights with Steven.
I mean, Double Crusaders ain't nothing to fuck with, just like the Wu-Tang Clan. It is what it is. So Brad, all right. I know we're getting past time, and my green stuff is starting to dry out, so I have to make some more. But why should I be excited to go to ATC? So they have GW terrain, that sucks. But it's a team event, that's fun. But it's all going to be Knights, Eldar. It isn't though.
GSC.
I think that I'm an Eldar apologist, of course, but I think you can play against Eldar, and there's only going to be one knight because they ruled that you can have either one KS or one Imperial. So if you're going from a competitive standpoint, there's only going to be one towering army. So then all your friends are there. Here's the thing. In the end, the game is not about the game. The game is about the community and hanging out. We've had shitty rules for 25 years. That's not going to change. However, having a good time with your friends is still what you're looking to do at all times. I don't know what's happening, but Britt just burst into the room.
I was waiting for you to finish. It's about to start raiding. Now's our time to smoke a joint.
You know what? There's never been a better time to call the stream, guys. Thanks everybody for watching, and thanks for putting up with, as usual, technical nonsense. And we're gonna call it on that.
So, bye, everybody.
Everyone, take it easy.